Welcome to the admin angle, public education from the other side of the desk. Policy, discipline, leadership. There's the headline, there's the reaction. But see, the view from this seat is different. And trust, I'll always give you the real. So let's get into it.
Class is in session.
You feel lucky?
Sure, what?
I'll tell you what. I'll bet you a dime I can drink that drink without touching the hat.
Okay, come on. Yeah.
Boy, all jokes aside, as ridiculous as this story is, we have to approach it from a serious angle. Now, I'm not laughing at anyone's misfortune, and I believe everyone deserves a second chance. But we have to be real. This story with the principal could have been much worse. We see stories every week about drunk drivers and the misfortune that follows. So in this case, we're going to be a little less forgiving. Whether on the clock or not, you have to have self-control and professional judgment, especially as a principal in one of the highest performing districts in the state of Georgia and the nation. I very much agree with what this principal did here by resigning, because we all know accountability is a hell of a drug. Because I'll tell you what, you won't ever catch the admin angle sipping and slipping. I value professionalism and safety above all else. And best believe, if I have my mind set on a drink, in this case for the former principal, a vodka on the rocks, or just a vodka period, best believe I'm going to be home and settled before I sip anything. As an administrator, you are in the public eye and are being watched like a hawk, and there's no room for error. So with that being said, let's get into
charged
it.
with drunk driving and causing a crash right near her school. Cobb County placed that principal on leave. John Tom Jones is live in Cobb County on Sandy Plains, where that crash happened. And Tom, you spoke with some parents at that school today. They're concerned.
Yeah, first, Karen, this is where police say that Principal Jill Spiever caused that crash while driving under the influence. This is less than a half mile from her school. We're still trying to find out when Spiever went on leave. But yeah, you mentioned some parents say she shouldn't be back at work right now, but other parents say work is where she needs to be.
Come on, bruh. Let's be real, man. Being in a leadership role means you cannot conduct yourself like everyone else. She simply cannot be in the role anymore. You can't properly lead a school when everyone knows you conduct yourself in this way. It's a mindset you have to have. But let's hear it out. Maybe they have some good points.
For me, I support her.
This parent who asked us to only use his first name, Ivan, says he has not one concern about Addison Elementary Principal Jill Spiever getting arrested for DUI and traffic offenses. He thinks it has no impact on her job.
Yes, she's a good principal.
Wait, hold on, man. She's a good principal? How? How does he know? Well, I'm sure she is an exceptional instructional leader, but from my experience, teachers and educators can make very poor decisions. We had to literally call HR on a teacher last year because she was 3 times over the legal limit before 9 o'clock in the morning. So good principal? Maybe. But when it comes to professionalism and personal decision making, nah, man, we're not having that. And not one concern? That's hard to believe, brother. But if you didn't have a concern before, maybe you should have one now. As a parent, here's what I would be thinking. Does she drink on the job? When does she have time to become so impaired? Jill Spiever made close to $151,000 last year as principal. Why didn't she call an Uber? Why didn't she call a Lyft? Just judging by her photo, she is in the latter half of her career, and I'm almost certain she has ample sick leave. Why didn't she give herself time to recover and come in for a half day the next day? I guess we'll never know.
Other parents feel differently. We heard from parents who said Spiever is back at work and on crutches. One wrote Spiever should not be at school while the investigation into her arrest is ongoing.
Nope. She should not have been allowed to re-enter that building until the investigation was complete. She should have been told to stay home or assigned to report to the district office until a decision had been made about whether or not she was going to continue at that school.
She says Spiva is not in the right state of mind to return to school. Ivan says what Spiva is accused of doing on the road has no bearing on her performance at school.
She's doing a great job here, and this is not. We haven't seen that kind of thing with her. So, regarding the school, it's okay.
A school district spokesperson sent me an email saying Spiva is on administrative leave, but wouldn't say the day and time that leave started. Police arrested Spiva after they say she was involved in a crash at Sandy Plains and Ebenezer Road Thursday evening. That's less than a half mile from her school. Officers say they suspected DUI, then found a half-empty bottle of vodka in a white plastic bag in her car. Police say Spiva refused a blood test. A judge signed a warrant forcing her to give up her blood. Ivan is asking people to give Spiva some grace.
I think that everyone deserves another chance.
And meanwhile, the superintendent sent a note to parents that essentially says the district couldn't discuss a personnel situation at the school, but it is being carefully examined, consistent with district policy. We're live in Cobb County. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Sure, you'll keep up with the district and those parents there. Tom, thanks.
Look, yes, everyone deserves a second chance. But with that half-empty bottle of vodka and her slipping and sliding a half mile away from her school, let's give it some thought here. What if she had hit a car with one of her students as a passenger? She could have seriously injured someone. It's a shame that all that time she has dedicated to education and becoming a principal just thrown away with one bad decision. I believe she has ruined her career as it pertains to being a principal, and often a negative stain on your principalship will preclude you from any district office jobs and even many education consulting jobs as well. But with all that said, I have suspicions that she will land a gig somewhere and keep a low profile. Is that good or bad? Well, it's not up to me. I believe in accountability. I'm not vindictive. Yes, people make bad decisions every day, and when you do the crime, you should certainly do the time. She will certainly suffer legally and financially, but then again, I do believe she will be allowed to finish out her career in a position elsewhere. Somebody out there will give her a second chance. But two more things. As a parent, you won't catch me on TV giving her a pass. And I certainly wouldn't want her back in the building. So Ivan, sometimes it's okay to not give the news interview. As a fellow administrator, I would not feel comfortable with her as a teammate. As a teacher, everything she said from this moment forward would sound like this. Leadership doesn't clock out when the school day ends. Becoming a principal takes years, degrees, certifications, long nights, and hard decisions most people never see. It's a role built on trust, and one moment can put all of that at risk. This isn't about piling on. It's about understanding the weight that comes with the title, the weight that comes with the role. That's the admin angle. If you value perspective from someone who sat in the seat, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.